Occupy LA General Assembly, April 27, 2012 at Pershing Square.
Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Okay! Okay! So the North, would like 5,000 copies. Would like 5,000 copies. The East, don't want any. Don't want any. Because the paper is not in Spanish. Because the paper is not in Spanish. And it's not relevant to their area. It's not relevant to their area. The Convergence. Would like 4,000. Would like 4,000. The South. It's going to take 350. It's going to take 350. Again. Because it's not relevant to the area of South LA. It's not relevant to the area of South LA. South LA. West. 1,500. 1,500. So this comes up to? No. This comes up to? What? We didn't want 500. We said the more we could take, the better. We said up to 10,000 that we can distribute them in the different hubs along the way. On the north side. Okay. So this is the case again of two different West groups. Okay, two different West groups. Let's just, do you want to meet in the middle of 5,000? Okay, so 5,000. It's not a hard part. It's going to be a lot of... Okay. Mic check! Mic check! So that would be a total of? That would be a total of? 15,000. 15,000. So I'd like John to explain. How much this will cost. How much this will cost. And then we're going to open stack. For questions and concerns.
If we were to print 15,000, my estimate is that would cost...
I'm somebody in the GA area, I would love to.
Okay. You did the industry?
So,
If we were to print 15,000.
if you were to print 15,000.
That would come to about 1075 plus tax.
They'll come out to be $10.75 plus tax.
Which
Are you
is
talking about $10.75 or 100?
Yeah,
Just checking.
$1,200 tax included, I would say, or a little under.
Sorry, flunked math.
I'm sorry.
Mic check.
1150 or tax included.
1150 tax included.
1150 to 1175 tax included.
Okay. So we're going to open stacks for questions. Does anyone have any questions? See a stack of Sarah and Omar.
If you want to weigh in on this proposal, you need to be in GA.
Okay, do we have any concerns? You can have a concern about the specific amount, the money, free for your stackers.
Jay Stacker.
Okay, Vanessa.
Hi, General Assembly.
My concern is,
This is a lot of paper. On a day when there's going to already be a lot of paper. And especially the number for the north wind seems very high. Especially since, from my understanding, the north wind is going to be on Metro. A lot. My concern is, who's responsible for carrying and distributing this many thousands? My other concern is this a good use of our financial resource? My last concern is there a way to do this more environmentally than to print this many cups? If we spray paint them on babies.
Do we have anyone from the north who can respond? Who gave us that number? North wind. We're going to hear the next concern before we get the north wind up.
we got back to 5,000.
Concerns?
You're from North Bend.
Go Vanessa, you're awesome.
How many do you
Just to add on though,
Add in.
if we're gonna have them at the central convergence,
If we're gonna have them at the central thing,
it makes sense to just
makes
leave them
sense
there.
to leave them there.
Because if the caravan is moving along,
If the caravan is moving along,
I don't anticipate people wanting to hold on to things
I don't anticipate people wanting to hold on to things
when we're gonna be getting chased by the cops.
when we're gonna be getting chased by the cops. Story. Yeah. So if we spray paint them on babies.
Green is another reason for them to bother you.
No, sorry.
Okay, Julie's next.
I want to speak in support.
I want to speak in support.
There is a lot of information,
There's a lot of information,
but there's not a lot of information.
but there's not a lot of information.
It's very difficult to build a movement
It's very difficult to build a movement
without people knowing what we've accomplished,
Without people knowing what we've accomplished,
our active areas of work,
our active areas of work,
and how they can get involved.
and how they can get involved.
If there's a less expensive way to give very substantial information,
There's a less expensive way to get very substantial information.
I support that.
I support that.
From the west winds,
From the west wind,
we'll be driving very slowly.
we'll be driving very slowly.
There are also 3 major hubs.
There's also 3 major hubs.
I think this is an excellent outreach tool.
I think an excellent outreach tool.
Okay, just to clarify, we have the Northwind, we have Kylie from the North, and she didn't know, and the Northwind didn't know that this was for MiGs. These are papers for the day and made for the church strike, not the leader.
Yeah. Okay, so only a couple comrades are here that we've been like meeting with and at the General Assembly, but there are a solid 18 of us that can carry at least like 50. So I mean, we might want to get 1,000 just to be safe. We were thinking meeting up a few days 5,000, but since it's just the day of, I mean, we could definitely handle 1,000. I think. And after, okay, well if it's after, I mean, we can put some to the side, 1,500, but we've already distributed 35,000 flyers. We're really good at that. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if we, can you come? Okay, the North wants 1,500.
Okay.
The Convergence wants 4,000. The South wants 350. And West wants 5,000. 5,000.
It's almost
10,850. Okay. Do we want to make it around
Yeah,
start
11,000.
11,000?
11,000?
What you got on that?
Okay, so 11,000 would come to 830 plus $75 tax is $905.
Okay, do we
I think
have...
that's a more reasonable number. And keep in mind, the content of the middle will be, not Mayday related. It will be stuff about the banks, stuff about the janitors strike, the airport workers, the budget cuts at LAUSD.
We give information on the General Assembly.
Yes, and stuff about the GA and how to contribute to Occupy. So it will be of ongoing interest. So I think 11,000 is a more realistic number. But 2 points I want to make here. One is there will be ready tomorrow the simple 4-page thing which can be used for building towards May 1. That's almost paid for. And point 2 is, it would be good if each win organizes to point people to be distribution for point people so that we can liaise with them and they can liaise with the rest of your win.
Mike, check.
Okay.
905.
Okay.
We can
All
drop
right,
it down to
basically-
905.
What Brother John suggested
What John suggested
is
is
11,000
11,000
for a total cost of $905.
for a total cost of $905.
And he also suggested there be 2-point people
And he also suggested that the 3-point people
on each win
on each win
whose sole job is to hand these out.
whose sole job is to hand these out.
But to organize handing them out.
Or
Yeah.
organize handing them out.
And do we have questions or concerns on this?
Do we have questions and concerns on this?
Can we take a temperature check?
Slightly chilly.
Do I get on stack or you just gonna let it roll?
Any more on stack?
Okay. Anybody else? Come on, y'all. All right. Now, does anyone have any concerns? Can we get a consensus or do we have concerns? I only see 2 hands. That's not going to count as consensus, brothers and sisters. Mic check!
Mic check!
Let's try this one more time.
Let's try this one more time.
Now, who is in favor
Who's in favor
of making 11,000 copies of the Occupy Times
of making 11,000 copies of the Occupy Times
for distribution on May Day to the people?
for distribution on May Day to the people?
Temperature check!
Check your check!
Can you say the amount of money it
Oh,
costs to buy?
it would cost $905. Okay, do we have any concerns?
Yeah.
Questions?
I would like to know 1 or 2 alternative amount.
Oh, come on down, brother. Come on down. Hop on stack. Hop on stack.
Yeah.
Get on stacks, okay? What? Get on stacks.
There's a better way of doing it. I want to hear it.
Is everyone in agreement with what the leaflet has on it? Has everyone read the leaflet and know what it says? Does everyone knows what the leaflet has written on? Do you know the content of the leaflet? No. You should read it before you come into a consensus to agree. If it's good for everyone, then let's go into it. That's all I want to say.
Mic check. Next on stack.
Next on stack
It's Scott.
is Scott.
Environmental concerns aside,
Environmental concerns aside,
this very special edition
very special edition
of our paper
of our paper
is something we should consider
is something we should consider
printing extra copies of.
bringing extra copies of.
There could easily be
It could easily be
25,000,
25,000.
50,000 people here.
50,000 people here.
My understanding is
My understanding is
that the expense for printing on a web press
Printing out a web press
is really the setup fees,
really set up.
and that for each 1,000 copies that we get additional,
For each 1,000 copies that we get additional,
it's only $60.
it's only $60.
Better to have too many
Better to have too many
than too few.
than too few. Okay,
Okay, we're gonna close stack.
if you have anything, please come now. We're closing stacks. Okay.
All I wanted was he gave 11,000 for 900 something bucks. I wanted you to give a couple of other.
Okay, so how much for 15,000? How much for 20,000?
Every additional 1,000 is $60 plus tax more, which is $65 more. So 15,000 is another $260, which brings us up to 1170. 20,000, another 325, which brings us up to
Okay.
20,000 would come in about $1,450.
Mike, check! Mike,
Check!
Check, what?
Okay.
Michael.
Michael.
My concern is about the printing costs. I've recommended the printer that I use for turning the tide. I printed 16,000 copies of an 8-page paper for $800. $50 per additional 1,000, $75 for the whole thing for adding color. So I would urge them to look into that printer.
Wait. I'm sorry.
My concern is with the cost. I don't understand how we can. Mic check. Mic check.
Mic check.
How can we decide to spend a certain amount of money without knowing the total amount that we have? How much do we have?
Resources.
I'm trying to find them. I can't find them.
Resources.
Steven! Can anyone
Resources.
Okay. Give us an update.
Number!
Okay, I'm going to call Kelly and Steven. So that's
No.
That's
separate.
Just so everyone knows, the newspaper committee shopped around for the newspaper. Over the past 6 months, they've looked at many options. I personally have distributed thousands of copies. When we hand these out, they're an awesome outreach tool. The reason why, they give stories of what we're doing. They give links to what we have. And they have pictures showing the good things rather than the bad things mainstream media shows. This is one of the few consistent pieces of media we've had. We shouldn't kill it. And I think on May Day, we have a huge opportunity to outreach even more people, so we should do it. Mic check. How's everyone on staff? I found out there's $5,000 in resources. That's all that's left. So, I'm going to reiterate, we asked for $11,000. For every 11,000 copies. For every 1,000 copies, it's $60 more. So, can we, I'm going to put it back to the assembly again. Do we want to have 11,000 copies for Nick?
Do we? 11,000 copies.
Do we have any concerns? Okay, we've got
11,000.
Okay, mic check. I know personally, I think it's too late to go to another printer.
It is too
late.
At this stage. But maybe we can put an amendment in the proposal. If we consent to 11,000 copies.
And we consent to 11,000 copies.
On the condition that in the future. The Occupied LA Times tries to go to different printers suggested by Michael.
Check out different printers.
Well, I can do better than that. I mean, we are not totally committed to doing the second run with that printer.
Mic check.
And if we can
He doesn't want to do a second one with that particular printer.
if we can get
If we can find a better price
more
for later
issues
actions.
for the same $900 with your guy tomorrow, we will do that. So we spend the $900.
Something about being a guy with $900.
Okay.
If you can beat $900,
Okay.
good job.
Yeah.
So, Brother John said if we can bring this money together to print it, if we can get more copies for that same amount from a different printer, that's beautiful.
And we do that.
Okay.
And we'll do that.
I just want to
Okay,
say,
it's not the time
not
right
for
now.
this issue, but for the future issue.
Okay, so can we take a temperature check on that? 11,000 copies. For a certain price.
11,000.
if we can get more copies from elsewhere, he will. Do we have any concerns?
We have one.
Any hard blocks? Okay, we've gone through the concerns. We're not going to listen to the concerns right now. He's coming.
Hey, we have one concern.
He's coming.
He's coming now. He's trying to get on stack.
But he's been on stack.
He's getting back on stack.
We just asked for concerns.
He has a concern. Let him speak.
Yeah, he's up. He's got a
I'm just
concern.
wondering
I'm just
if
wondering.
there's a union bug. Is the printer going to put a union bug on the paper? That's all I'm asking.
Oh, okay.
No union bug. It will not be a bug. It will. That would have made the cost entirely.
Mike, check!
Mike, check!
Our print broker could not find a union printer who could print in a timely fashion or at any cost approximating remotely what we could afford.
And paperless
Well,
screens.
we are promoting non-union workers. That's what we're doing.
Okay, independent. So let's try again.
Yay.
11,000 copies.
11,000 copies.
With the condition that
With the condition that
if we can go to Michael's printer
if we can go to Michael's
for
printer,
the second run,
the second run,
and they can do it for cheaper,
and they can do it for cheaper,
they will.
they will.
Can you show me your hands?
Show me your hands.
Does anyone have any hard blocks?
Any hard blocks?
Who's got to be convinced? Any concerns?
Any concerns?
We're not going to listen to concerns right now because we've listened to them. If we have overwhelming number of concerns, we're going to table it. That's what will happen and we won't have them for May Day.
So that's the question, brothers and sisters. Do you want it for May Day, or do you want it not to have the paper for May Day?
Okay.
May Day.
Okay, so you've got to show me your hands. We don't want to do them undemocratic.
You gonna let it go by? All right.
There we go.
Consensus.
Okay. Okay.
Now we got some fun.
So we have one last agenda item, which is really serious. So just before we go into that, we're going to go through some chants. Natalia's come to teach us some May Day chants. She's kindly brought her kids out. She's waited a really long time. So we'll just go through chants beforehand. Thank you, Natalia.
How many people here know Spanish?
Me.
All right.
Me. Help?
We'll just start with some in Spanish.
Need help?
Because come help, yeah.
Get him, Junior. Easy.
We'll start with number 3. So first is las luchas obreras.
Las luchas obreras no tienen fronteras.
No tienen fronteras.
Las luchas obreras no tienen fronteras.
No tienen fronteras.
Las luchas obreras.
Las luchas obreras no tienen fronteras.
No tienen fronteras.
Obrero, seguro.
Obrero seguro.
A la migra dale duro.
A la migra dale duro.
Obrero, seguro.
Obrero seguro.
A la migra dale duro.
A la migra dale duro. Kick the buses in the ass. Power to the working class. Kick the buses in the ass. Power to the working class. Kick the buses in the ass. Power to the working class.
Este puño sí se ve.
Este puño sí se ve.
Los obreros al poder.
Los obreros al poder.
Este puño sí se ve.
Este puño sí se ve.
Los obreros al poder.
Los obreros al poder.
That one says
Education, not war and corporations.
Jobs and education.
Not war and corporations.
Jobs and education.
Jobs and education.
Not wars and corporations.
Not wars and corporations.
Jobs and education.
Jobs and education.
Not wars and corporations.
Not wars and corporations.
Asian, Latin, black and white.
Asian, Latin, black and white.
To smash racism, we must unite.
To smash racism, we must unite.
Asian, Latin, black and white.
Asian, Latin, black and white.
To smash racism, we must unite.
To smash racism, we must unite.
Asian, Latin, black and white.
Asian, Latin, black and white.
Workers of the world unite.
Workers of the world unite.
I like you.
Unidad
Unidad
multirracial.
multirracial.
Al racismo va a acabar.
El racismo va a acabar.
Unidad multirracial.
Unidad multirracial.
Al racismo va a acabar.
El racismo va a acabar.
One more. Luchar, vencer. Los obreros al poder.
Luchar, vencer. Los obreros al poder.
Luchar, vencer.
Los obreros al poder.
Luchar,
Vencer. Los obreros al poder. That's capitalism you can't hide. We charge you with genocide.
Capitalism you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide. I like that.
Can we say thank you to Natalia?
Thank you, you're awesome. Sky, can we keep her?
Okay, brothers and sisters.
Be on the giant strike.
Now, we're having a lot of fun getting geared up for MiGs. MiGs! MiGs! What we have to talk about now is safety. We're talking about safety, and we're talking about safety in particular of our female participants. So the Radical Women's Group is going to come up here and present this proposal.
Yeah.
So please give them your full and undivided attention. This is serious shit.
Yes, exactly.
All power to the people.
Mic check.
For the purposes of transparency.
Something about being transparent.
Okay.
Or PNC, I'm not really
Straight
sure.
on. I just want to tell people that I submitted this proposal to facilitation, but I didn't write it. So I'm going to stay as moderator unless one of you padlocks it. I just want to be transparent and open with people, so I submitted it on their behalf to facilitation, okay?
Oh, do you want me to?
Can we check? What we can do? Can we mic check? Like, can we mic check this? Because I feel like we're meeting very small here, and I want to make sure we're all participating. Okay, you want to mic check it?
She wants us to mic check it.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
This is serious shit!
This is serious shit!
Get your ass over here!
Get your ass over here!
Everybody over here! Everyone in Smoker's Corner, get your ass over here! Put your cigarettes down! Get your ass and move it over here!
Okay, let's start! the Radical Women's Circle in humility and seeks accountability through critical, communal, and self-reflection.
Why? The Occupy Los Angeles General Assembly has consistently shown that it is committed to women's rights and deconstructing patriarchy. Despite repeated requests from the Radical Women's Circle to address Sam Resnick of his act of sexual assault against a woman of OLA who wishes to remain anonymous. Sam has refused to meet and shows no recognition of the horrendous impact of the sexual assault against Anonymous. Sam himself has admitted to the sexual assault in his emails. Admitting to this can be released per request.
In addition, to the women of OLA, who was sexually assaulted by Sam Resnick, two more women have come forward about Sam sexually and verbally assaulting them. One of whom is from Pasadena City College, in which he has been engaged in student activism. The student activist women of PCC have banned Sam Resnick from any activist engagements related to PCC in solidarity with women of OLA and for the safety and well-being of their sisters at PCC. How? Send Sam Resnick. A statement that says the following. The General Assembly of Occupy Los Angeles recognizes and does not condone Sam Resnick self-entitled, disrespectful, and misogynistic acts of assault against women and his ensuing failure to exercise personal and collective responsibility in making reparations and taking steps to seek help. As such, Sam's presence represents a dangerous threat to women in the communities he is engaged in, and that it is conducive to the systemic oppression caused by patriarchy that affects women. We hereby declare that Sam Resnick must stay away from all OLA related actions and activities until he meets with the Radical Women's Circle in humility and seeks accountability through critical, communal, and self-reflection.
That was a lot of yelling.
Okay,
Don't let me find them.
we're gonna open stacks. Okay, mic check. We're gonna open stacks.
Stacks are open.
See Omar or Sarah.
Raise your hand.
If you have a question.
If you have a question.
Does anyone have a question? Let us
Otherwise, we'll go on to concerns.
Wait, we got a couple people on stack over here.
Okay.
We got a question or concern?
Yeah, question or concern?
Question or concern?
Carol has a
Yes,
question.
really quickly. Are you going to email us the statement?
All right. Do you have any
Mic
questions?
check.
Okay.
Okay. Carol asked if they're going to email it. They're going to email the statement.
We're going to email them.
Who's next?
Okay, mic check.
Mike, check.
Certain claims
Certain claims
require certain proofs.
proofs.
As all of us are over here,
As all of us are over here.
and now I've been here for 2 months.
I've been here for 2 months.
I've now heard this for like the 4th time.
I've heard it before.
Why don't the 2 additional women
Why are 2 additional
who
women
are making these claims
making these claims
step forward
step forward
so that they can present themselves and their evidence? Because this bullshit, no, it's not stupid. Because if you're making, everybody over here is convicting them right now. Everybody over here is convicting Sam Resnick, and nobody's even talked to Sam Resnick.
That's not true.
Everybody is. Has anybody over here talked to Sam Resnick? I
Yes,
have 2, but there are 2 additional claims being made against him right now. And I'd like to hear more about those claims before we make a decision to kick him out. No? Then do we not require evidence
Okay,
at all?
you've had your say. Let the
Okay.
women respond.
Okay.
Please have respect.
Thank you,
Who would like to respond? Stephanie, do you want to respond? Okay, Jamie.
Sam Resnick,
Sam
was it 2 months ago?
2 months ago
Was contacted.
was contacted.
A meeting was set up
A meeting was set up
with Sergi, a male ally.
with Sergey and ally.
I sat in that table over there
I sat at that table over there
for a whole hour,
for a whole hour,
waiting for him to show up.
waiting for him to show up.
Sergi
Sergey
went through all the text messages
went through all the text messages
where Sam was answering,
where Sam was answering,
and the others he decided not to answer anymore.
and the others he decided not to answer anymore.
Sam failed to meet with the Radical Women's Circle.
Sam failed to meet with the Radical Women's Circle.
Another point of clarity.
Another point of clarity.
This is not about kicking him out.
This is not about kicking him out.
This is about him having accountability.
This is about him having accountability.
I don't know where in the hell you got that statement from.
I don't know where the hell you got that statement from.
Nobody said it.
Nobody said it.
If you listen clearer,
If you listen clearer,
maybe you'll understand.
maybe you'll understand.
If you want to step forward
If you want to step forward
as an ally,
as an ally,
by all means, fucking do it.
Please fucking do it!
be an ally.
Oh, it's up already. That's it.
Mic check!
Mic check! One more concern.
No, mic check!
Mic check!
We have a process!
We have a process.
The process is
The process is
you ask your concern or question.
you ask a concern or
You
question.
get a response.
You respond.
Then you get back on stack.
Then you get back on
You
stack.
have a further concern.
And
You have a further concern.
Who's next?
All right. So can I get back on stack right now, please? One more question. Can I get a mic check over here? One more question.
Benji.
God likes this. Let me do this.
Okay, Benji.
Benji, bring it on, brother.
Mic check.
Before I start talking, please let me speak. Before he gets dictated. With this specific incident, there is already a lot of information presented about this specific individual. There really isn't an argument about how to deal with him. To be honest, there's a question about the severity. And that actually ties into patriarchy with males trying to defend females, which is another thing.
That just ties into patriarchy.
seriously.
In regard to males and women within patriarchy.
My question is, are we trying to be objective? Not for this situation. But for the next one. Because these are symptoms that happen repeatedly. And we need to make this situation a learning experience to overcome instead of allowing it to bring us down. We need not argue about this individual. He's already been pegged. Stop arguing about who the fuck knows why or the situation or all that shit.
Stop arguing about
It's already been done. It's already been done. Trying to argue about that shit is repeating and being redundant.
Omar, can I get a step?
What's your question? You have a question?
I have a question.
Are we learning from this and being objective for the next situation?
Are we learning from this?
Being objective for the next situation. Thank you, Brother Benji. Who's next?
That's a question, correct? Okay. Mic check! Mic check! I'd like to answer that question. Yes, we are learning from this. Anyone who wants to hear more about that? Feel free to contact me. And whoever is ready to volunteer themselves. We have lots of emails. And lots of discussion. That's been very helpful. Are we being objective? All of what you see would not be happening if Sam hadn't admitted his wrongdoing. We are not crucifying someone who did not admit to their own wrongdoing. What we are asking now is accountability. And he has had multiple chances. And there are many of us now who do not feel safe physically around him. We ask you stand in solidarity with women who are attempting to handle sexual assault in a radically new way.
All right, brothers and sisters, we are closing stacks for questions.
Stacks are closed.
We will be opening them for concerns once we get through the questions.
They're now open.
Junior, you're up.
Alright, back to what you were saying though about who knows what and all that, dude.
You knew what over where and how.
Well, yeah, all that too. What
That
you were
too.
saying, you know what I mean, about the situation, you know what I mean, about Sam, you know, doing to what he was doing to the woman. It's the principle, man. It's the principle behind the simple fact to what he did to the female. That's not the question. It's the principle. No, I have no question about that.
All right, next we have Tina, right?
Why not does he have to step up?
Under these circumstances in his situation, I'm not sure I would be willing to show up in front of the radical women's group either. Would it be similar if he met with a similar group, such as Women and Allies?
He met up with women's allies.
Or the men's group? Or, I don't know, but a group that serves in a similar function.
Or a similar forum.
Thank you, sister. Who wants to answer?
To be clear,
This issue is not about the radical women. This is about anonymous.
as male allies. So that Sam doesn't feel attacked by women.
Doesn't feel attacked by one's estrogen.
Bullshit either way.
Bullshit either way.
To be clear, this is about Anonymous. Clearly Sam has his own issues to deal with. And we all hope that he finds help. That is a separate issue. This is about Anonymous. And Sam taking accountability. Which he still continues to fail to do.
And I just want to let the General Assembly know as well.
I want the GA to know.
Sam is using some of you people who have stepped forward as allies.
Sam is using some of you guys as allies.
He's claiming that you failed to set up the appointment. So if you want to see that email too, you can see that as well. Realize a lot of manipulation is occurring. We are bringing our story to you. So that you can help us. Stop blaming us. Stop blaming women. For a male who sexually assaulted a woman.
Next on stack.
Donald.
I had both a question and a concern. I don't know should I.
I have a question and a concern.
Okay,
Speak to the assault, please.
Mic check.
Come on, Donald, you've done this before. Don't pretend like you don't know what you're doing.
Come on.
What's up, brother Down? Speak to us.
Lost my train of thought.
Okay, I don't know this person.
I don't know. Yes, you do.
I don't think I do. Maybe I'm wrong.
You do.
But I'm a little concerned about what kind of precedents are we setting.
What type of precedents are we setting?
Mic check.
Okay, the question of clarity is one of how exactly? Maybe this is a logic thing going on in my head, but how exactly is the person supposed to?
How exactly the person supposed to?
Come to a group that's part of us.
A group that's part of us.
Can't hear you.
Mic check.
I have no idea what's going on.
Donald.
Include everything. What's the question?
The concern part.
The concern part.
The concern part
They don't know what the question is. They don't know
is
what
that
the question
we are. Oh, repeat the question? Okay,
please.
I'll try. Okay. How is a person supposed to come to a specific group that is part of us? To do something with that group. Without participating in our community. Seems like participation. That's a question of clarity.
Thank you, bro.
Okay. Can I do the concern now?
Concerns are active. Concerns are active.
Okay.
All right. Lady.
So Donald, I'm gonna try to follow how your train of thought is working here. And I'm trying to follow the train of thought here. Coming to the Radical Women's Circle is not excluded in this. We want him to communicate with us. We want him to come meet with us. But we absolutely do not want for him to be participating in OLA actions and events. Without having first been held accountable.
All right, what do we got next on set?
Mic check.
Mic check.
I'm feeling a little crowded.
Step up.
And I was just wondering if people.
Give her 50 feet.
We like get shit.
Shoulders. Down.
I think she's close to
Mic
full
check.
bed.
Mic check.
If you're not the radical women,
If you're not radical women,
and you're not moderating,
and you're not moderating,
and you're not stacking,
and you're not
you
stacking,
should be over there.
you should be over there.
If you're on stack, then you should be here.
And sit the fuck down.
That's straightforward.
You guys are dumb.
And obviously nobody moves.
And then nobody moves. Guys, it's okay. The concrete does not fight. You can take a seat.
Listen to people.
Scott,
It's not lava, it's not hot.
All right,
It's
Brett.
actually kind of cold.
Question for Brenda Scott.
Questions for him.
Please bear with me.
Please bear with me.
This is important.
It's important.
Question one.
Question one.
What exactly did Anonymous tell the women's group that she wanted?
What exactly did Anonymous tell the women's group that she wanted?
Question two.
Question two.
What does this say about due process?
What does it say about due process?
We're the same people who are judging an action.
The same people who are judging action
Are the people that are prescribing the remedy.
are the people that are
And are heavily vested to the remedy.
Something about the remedy.
Ideologically.
Ideologically.
Three. What does it mean? When it's more important to banish someone from the community for not attending to the women's caucus as they've demanded. As opposed to
Hey, come on, brothers, let these brothers talk.
as opposed to the sexual assault on Anonymous, which is apparently not as big a faux pas as not appearing in front of the women's caucus.
not appearing in front of the women's caucus.
Banish them for not coming to your caucus.
Pay attention.
Giving them a chance. You're not panic.
All right, next.
Okay, I'm going to respond to this question.
I'm going to respond.
Scott, she gonna respond to your question, give it courtesy of listening.
Got it right here.
All right, don't walk your ass off, sit here and watch your
Fuck you.
Okay, first of all, mic check. First of all, congratulate yourselves. For engaging. One of the toughest issues. In our culture. Second of all, the issue of the sexual assault. Is paramount. What Anonymous asked. Was for a circle of women. To stand with her. In a conversation. With Sam. To talk about assault. And then to offer him. Resources for help. This is the meeting. We have been trying to set with him. We've offered him. Opportunities to have male allies. Opportunities to meet with less women. Opportunities to have this conversation prior to that conversation. He has been either non-responsive or defiant. That is why we've come to this.
Congratulations, everyone.
Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
So the due process.
Due process. Dot.
Sam is not being tried. He has admitted to what he's done. He admitted to what he did. Far before
Prison industrial complex.
What's
Cool.
Prison industrial complex. Not to call the cops. Not to call the cops.
Okay, brothers and sisters, we have how many more? Questions.
How many more men would have questions?
Yeah, I know. I was going to say something about that.
All right, who's first? Alex or Patrick? Whoever's first on your list. All right, brother Alex, come on up.
Alex! You look good.
Okay, on the due process thing,
Due process thing.
what he did was illegal.
What he did was illegal.
We could easily turn him into the prison, to the police.
We can easily turn him into the pigs.
Problem is, we have a very sexist justice system.
We have a very sexist justice system.
So the justice system
So the justice system
would probably fail.
would probably fail.
It would.
Still,
Still,
if it didn't,
if it didn't,
it's violent,
it's violent.
and we want to solve things differently.
And we want to solve things differently.
So I support this action.
So I support this action.
On the second note,
The second thing is,
the idea of having something besides the radical women's.
the idea of something having rather than radical
Jack.
women.
Okay. Specifically regarding the men's circle.
The men's circle.
I do not think
I do not think
that it's a good idea
that it's a good idea
that his apology or whatever happen in front of people who have never and can never experience what Anonymous has experienced. I could never treat the results of a men's circle meeting with the same kind of respect that I would treat another one with women.
Something respect with another one with women.
So, that was my...
No, you know what? That was my fault. That was a direct response to an earlier question. I messed up and put it in my sack. I apologize.
Right, yes.
Can I respond since that was to my question?
Might as well.
No, process.
Now, come on down, and then we got one more on stack, which is Pat.
Okay,
So come on down and directly respond to that sister. No, we're just rolling because this whole thing is good.
No, because get on stack.
Okay. Okay. All right, then we got Brother Patrick.
mic check.
Mic check.
Can I say as well?
Can I say as well?
As a woman. Moderating. It upsets me. To feel the hostility. From certain men. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. Please be respectful. Many women up here tonight. Have faced sexual assault. And this is bringing it back. I'm one of those women. This is really not nice.
Now that we have that,
All right, Brother Pat.
Brother Pat.
To stand in solidarity. What do you ask of the occupation? To do. If Sam shows up for May 1st.
Yes, as we said before, Sam shows up, ask him to leave.
People ask why.
Tell
him he's a sexual predator.
Tell him he's a sexual predator.
Tell him he's a threat to the community.
Tell him he's a threat to the community.
Tell him he fails to accept accountability. And that his invitation to meet with the circle is still open. It will remain open.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
All right, we have concerns. If you have a concern, get on stack.
Can we take a temperature
check first to see how everybody feels?
First, yes.
Can I say something real quick about him?
Can I say something about him?
It's not a process, but yes, soon.
It's not a process, but
Okay.
sure.
That's a
Let's
concern.
do it.
Get unstuck.
Do we have any feelings on this proposal? Temperature check.
I have a friendly amendment, sir. Friendly amendment? Friendly amendment?
Any amendments or concerns?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be on staff. I have a concern.
All right, that's what I'm saying. That's where we're headed. I got you all, brothers and sisters. I know this is a contentious subject. It strikes at the very heart of our identity, of our gender identity as men. And it's rough to have strong women
And it's rough to have strong women.
over your masculinity. Trust me, I know.
Over your balls.
But this is a discussion we need to have.
Something we have to do.
So, let's just keep it cool,
Keep it chill.
as cool as it can be. All right, concerns on stack. You're first, Sister Sarah. What do you got? Go to Deli.
Who said Sister Sarah? I makes you want to go like that.
Sisters and brothers!
Sisters and brothers.
Thank you for imitating my ass. My proposition this evening is simple.
My proposition this evening is simple.
Because of the understanding of our own history and what this nature of abuse by men on women could lead to. What is the guy's name? Sam Resnick will not be marching on the South Wing.
Alex.
I know which side I'm going to now.
So I'm with all fucking the radical women.
I'm with the women.
It doesn't have to be acknowledged. So like I'm 100% with like what they're doing. My concern is that perhaps there is some misunderstanding, and I want to ask people to reinstate the proposal.
To restate the proposal.
Just for the sake of everybody understanding what's going on. Well, I mean, no, not everything. Just like it's the main point.
Sam Resnick can't hang out with us.
And then,
Resnick can't hang out with
Okay, what? Exclude Sam Resnick.
Exclude Sam Resnick.
From all Occupy Los Angeles.
From all Occupy Los Angeles.
Related activities.
Related activities.
Until further notice.
Until further notice.
In which the notice. Will be given once.
Will be given once.
He meets with the Radical Women's Circle.
He meets with the Radical Women's Circle.
In humility. And seeks accountability. Through critical. Communal. And self-reflection.
How? Send Sam Resnick a statement that says the following. The General Assembly of Occupy Los Angeles. Recognizes and does not condone. Sam's self-entitled. Disrespectful. And misogynistic acts. Of sexual assault. Against women. And his ensuing failure. To exercise personal and collective responsibility. In making reparations. And taking steps to seek help. As such. Sam's presence represents a dangerous threat. To women in the communities. Of which he is engaged in. And that it is conducive. Systematic oppression caused by patriarchy. That affects women. We hereby declare. That Sam Resnick. Must stay away. From all OLA. Related actions and activities. Until he meets. With the Radical Women's Circle.
Beth. Beth, you're up.
Beth, you're awesome.
Omar. This gentleman here.
This is really hard for me.
This is really hard for me.
My concern is there's people here